All right, today I'm going to continue trying to fix this dishwasher's F21 and F14 code. I bought parts which I think are going to solve the problem. In my last video, I examined the heater relay, which is this number right here. I don't think that's the problem, but I went ahead and bought the part straight from the Miele website. It's very likely going to end up being the pressure switch. So that's the next part that I order. I have both of them. I'm just gonna change them. One of them hopefully fixes it, and I'll get started. As before, watch my previous video that's gonna go into a lot of steps on how to take the dishwasher apart. I'm gonna go very quickly through this one. Just refer back to that one. But remember, I am not an electrician or a professional. I'm doing this on my own. You should consult and hire a technician that will be able to fix yours if you're not comfortable working around electricity. I have removed the power to my dishwasher. However, that never guarantees that it won't shock you because there are capacitors in there that have the power to do so. So again, consult with a technician to do your work if you're not comfortable doing this. Let's get started. At this point, I have drained the basin right here, removed the toe kick in the bottom, and also loosen up the front feet and the rear feet so that I can go ahead and pull the dishwasher forward. Don't forget to turn off the water under your sink there, and also disconnect the drain hose so it doesn't rip like in the last video. That's an important step. And then I'll be able to pull forward the dishwasher. Next step is to remove the drip pan like in the previous video. There are 4 screws, 2 in the front there, and then one here. One in the bottom. They're the T20 Torx driver. Go start. Got the heater relay right here. Just gotta wiggle it like this and it comes off. I had taped this before, so I'm just gonna remove the tape, put the connectors in the same way, put it back in. That's gonna get the heater relay replaced with the new part. All right, the next part is to replace the heater pressure switch. My part number ends in a 20, but when you go order that, it'll tell you it's discontinued, and this 21 is the one that it's available for purchase. It's got 2 clips here at the bottom, and it is telling you that I need to remove the whole circulating pump to get to it, but I can see that if I remove this hose here, I can get at the clips back there relatively easily without having to take everything apart. So I think I'm gonna try doing that first. So I've removed this hose right here, this connector. I think I may want to get at this hose as well, just so I have more room to work. All I'm doing is just using a pliers, clip it, and then move it out of the hard part here and to the middle, and you'll be able to remove that. So I'm gonna remove those 2 hoses just so that I have more room to work with. All right, in removing the hose from the sump pump here, make sure that you have a towel directly under it, because you can see there's still some water. You don't want to get water into the motors and things that are in here. Obviously, I did not do that because I did not expect it, but now you know. All right, so I'm just removing the next hose. Notice the black clip goes to the sump pump here, and then the silver clip goes to the actual pump. So I just removed that to give me more space. All right, so this clip, it's easy to get at, but the one in the back, it's a little bit difficult to get a screwdriver in there and to pry it open. I think what I'm gonna do next is just to remove the wires, maybe give me a little bit more working room. I just wanna remember white goes in the front, black in the back, and then this is probably the ground here. So I'm just gonna remove those. They have the same type of clips where you press and pull up. All right, I finally got the pressure switch out with a lot of trouble, but didn't have to get to take out the pump, which I did not want to get into. But as you can see here, this side is really hard to get to because there's not a lot of space. I had to use a knife to kind of get in there, kind of push it away, and then leave enough space for a screwdriver to push it outside. And at the same time, on the other side, I put another screwdriver and then lifted it. So I think that's the trick, get something really thin to get between the clip and the wall, and then make enough space to get a screwdriver, pry it open, and then pull both of them up. And now we're just removing the cables. I'm marking them just so I know where they go. Then we got to remove these clips here, which I haven't figured out how to do yet, but shouldn't be too hard now. All right, so it doesn't have any clips, so the best way to do this is just a needle nose plier and just wiggle it up until it comes off. There you go. Notice how I've marked all the cables. The white ones go in the front, the black ones in the back.
Oh, I wonder if this was the issue. See how the top of the thing is burnt? Maybe it was messing with the connection. Two of them have like black tops.
I don't think it's enough to...
Well, I mean, if it burns it enough, that could reduce the
Now,
connectivity.
there are some rubber O-rings here that fell off and they're inside. The part that I ordered already comes with it, so I have to make sure that I remove. You can't just see it right here, but you can see back there the O-rings stayed in. The new part already has them, so I just gotta make sure that I go in there and grab those out, just like that. All right, so this is the new part. I'm just gonna reassemble it.
Right front. Is that in?
I think maybe in, yeah.
Back left.
All right, so I got the pressure switch back in, all the cables in place. Notice how the clip back here is flush. This one right here has a little bit of a gap, but it is definitely clipped. If you look from the front, the clip is there. I think this is what makes it easier to use a screwdriver, which we don't have on this side because it's likely on the opposite side. So just bad design on that for easy removal. But now I'm just gonna put the hoses back. Make sure you don't forget any. All right, so just put that hose in there and use a pair of pliers to drive the clip over the plastic piece. Use the fingers in the back to drive it down. There you go. So we got, that's already in its place there.
Just go a little more forward.
No, that's good. You don't want it too forward because then it could fall off on this side. It's already clipping the plastic. You can feel it there. And then over here, it's already clipping the plastic here.
All right.
So that's enough. You don't want it so close to the front that it can pop off the other side. That's that one hose. Then we got to bring this one down here. And notice how it has the cut off here so that it can slip all the way through. All right, and we got to be careful. Actually, let's remove this wire out of the way. Looking good. Okay, we got to put the ground wire back. And that may be everything that we took off. Before we started, I made sure that there was no voltage in these capacitors here. I did that using a voltmeter in DC mode. So I know it was safe to work around here. The same with this capacitor here. We're ready to put back the drip pan. This is the float switch. You gotta make sure that that's not fall off. And then there's a couple of clips here and one down here that you have to make sure your drip pan goes into, and then you put the 4 screws back. All right, so here's the test. We have to get at least past the 2-minute mark. We're past the 18-second mark. That's good. That's because we forgot to put the lower arm. So that's good. But that's okay. Let's go put that in after the 2-minute mark. We're down to the last 10 minutes. This is looking very positive right now. It's in the drying cycle, which means it finished all the other washing where the pressure switch and the heating relay is used. So I'm going to go and say this has been fixed by switching the pressure switch out.